But yeah, everything. Yeah, I feel good. I kind of I grappled when I didn't really need to yet in the first round. You know.
You feel like that might have like.
Well, it set the tone.
Muscles a little
Not
bit.
even really, because I know I can grapple a whole fight easily. You know.
Uh-huh.
But what set the tone was I went for the kill. Like, I took his back and I held his back for a while with a body lock too. He stood up with me, and we stood here for like a minute, dude.
Okay.
And then I took him back, and I had it locked up for, I don't know, if maybe 20 to 30 seconds. It was like just a smidge not good enough though.
Uh-huh.
And like the longer we sat there, I'm like, he ain't gonna fucking tap. And then like
I thought you had it.
Yeah, I thought I had it too. I'm not gonna lie. To start it off, I thought I had it.
Like the choke was in?
Yeah, it was in. It was in. But like, I don't know if we had just the slightest off angle when he was turned in, or if he may have bit down on the chin just at the right time, just to save himself. But like, and then I recovered top. I held back mount. I ended the first time back mount, hitting him a few times, and then. But I did go back to the corner. Like, legs are very heavy, arms are very fucking heavy.
Yeah.
Like, probably didn't need to like go for the kill like that, But like, fuck it, man. I'm looking for a finish,
For sure.
So
and like plus, if that's a 5-minute round,
it's a 5-minute round
instead of a 3-minute round. That's a lot different.
Right, for sure. And I still have this back. Like, if there's 2 more minutes for that dude having to deal with me on his fucking back, maybe I finish it round and round. Who knows? But
that's what's tough about the AMI fights.
For sure. And then I mean,
especially for our style, because it's like sometimes it takes like those first few minutes to break the guy down.
Break him down.
But it's like once you break him down, then it's like you sometimes in the AMIs like you don't really get the reward. You have to start all over.
You have to start all over again. Yeah. That's like I ended every round on top, dude. I ended up maybe 2 takedowns in the second. Like I went to the corner with these guys between 2 and 3, and I'm like, I was drained, but like confident that like for sure took round 1, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I took round 2. A little different story. We're in this hometown, so it's fucking makes shit up in the air a little bit,
Yeah.
But like I started getting tagged in round 3, dude, and like just making really poor decisions too. But like I was like, arms were exhausted from that choke in the first round,
right?
Yeah. And legs too. And then I just went into like a dumpster dog mode, dude.
Just had to dig deep.
Just dig deep, and then I took his back with like a minute left, and then I mounted him with like full mount with 10 seconds left, and that's when in my head I'm like I'm in instinct mode, and I'm still about to dog him
right. Yeah, that's
but time runs out.
That's good, So. That's good. I feel like those fights are definitely the ones you learn the most from.
For sure. I think about it now. Like I've even told a few people, I'm like, I'm actually really happy I didn't get an early finish in the first round.
For sure.
For this last game bout.
Yeah.
I'm actually really. Yeah, and I can't wait. It sounds fucking crazy, but I can't wait to see myself get tagged a few times in the video. And like, fucking like I fought. And in my opinion, I think he's probably the best athlete I fought. At least top 2.
Yep.
And I think I fought a really skilled guy who probably doesn't get the credit for it on paper. And me personally, I probably fought one of my poorest fights.
Yeah.
But I'll take it.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
I'll take it.
Hell yeah.
It's good. I had to shake some rust a little bit. It's been a long time out of the cage,
Yeah.
You can do all these jiu-jitsu tournaments and these kickboxing bouts, but nothing's a fucking. At the end of the day, it's not a goddamn fight. It's not a scrap. Yeah. So I feel good. I feel confident about it and everything. I'm looking forward. It's a good fight.
Good, man.
It's good. Sometimes he's a really good opponent to him. I'd really like to train with him, honestly.
Yeah.
I really like to train with him.
Right.
So.
Right.
What were you saying? I'm saying.
Just like those, like my last 2 opponents, they were like 5 and 4, like 6 and 3.
Yeah.
But they were like the toughest.
They're the weathered guys, dude. They're the ones who don't give a shit because they already tasted defeat.
For sure.
Like they've tasted them. Like they're. I think they're confident in themselves. Their stress is kind of a little bit like fucking. I'm here to fight.
Yeah.
Like when I saw this guy wanted to fight at 5 and 4, and I'm like, but he's coming off 3 wins as well. So you can tell like he was a baby when he was losing.
Yeah.
It's like. They're not taking this because they think they're going to get steamrolled.
For sure, yeah.
Like they're taking this because
like everybody's showing up to win.
Everyone's showing up to win,
I believe they can
Fuck
win.
yeah, man.
Well, I feel like those guys don't care about losing as much.
They don't care as much.
They're just like fuck, like I lost a few times already.
Yeah, I'm here to win, but like I know what it tastes like to lose.
It's not like like I can't lose. Like I'm on I can't lose. It's like the I'm just gonna lay it all out because like
Right.
Like I need the win and I want the win, but like another loss ain't gonna do shit.
Especially
as an amateur,
Yeah, they've already tasted it. It, for sure.
But honestly, man, great opponent and great bout to have. Yeah. Like in a wild way. So.
Right, that's what you want your experience to be.
Late,
especially late Amy stuff. I feel.
For sure.
Actually, we're looking like mid to late October for me. So I'll be
right around
stacking it. Stacking it right up.
Oh, dude, we're loading the boys up.
Yeah, dude, just getting ready to go.
Loading the boys up.
Heck yeah. That'll be cool.
Yeah. So fuck, I don't even know. I didn't come with any questions. This was a failure.
I asked him last night. I'm like, do we have any talking points? Or we just
shooting shit? Yeah. That's what shooting. He's like, you got anything you want to talk about? I'm like, it's just the boys hanging out, you know.
So outside of fighting, I know you work a lot with Alexa and the guys on Litecoin stuff. You really enjoy that, right?
For sure. I feel like it provides a lot of balance. Mm-hmm. Just in my life, you know.
Dude, I feel like I hate to interrupt, but I feel like we need something to just that has nothing to do with fighting and just fucking.
Yeah. Dude, absolutely, man. It's good to
there's other guys who need to be completely I'm on the other end of it, you know. They need to be completely nothing else but it, you know. But I can't live like that.
Same.
You know?
Just
there needs to be
something to decompress, you know. And just for people who don't know, that's our. We have a video production company, and it's just we do videography, a little bit of photography, but it's been great just learning and to immerse yourself in something different is just really refreshing, and I've definitely gained an appreciation for it, a deeper appreciation and joy for it the last couple years, and it's in turn helped me. In training and in fighting because like you said having something different coming back you come back
you enjoy fighting more
you come back with fresh eyes
and then for sure fresh eyes and then when you head back to whatever that is do you have more appreciation for that too. It's just man
when I was younger I always thought that it you need to 100%.
Well, that was me with wrestling. That's the wrestling.
Yeah. I think that's why
I actually
they
burn out, and I think I actually stifled myself. Just as a person, definitely as a person, but maybe even as an athlete too. Just 'cause, I had nothing else to care about.
Definitely.
I had nothing else to care about. You know.
It's easier to when you have those other things that you're passionate about. I feel like it's easier to be present all the time.
For sure.
You know,
for sure.
Instead of just something.
That's definitely you're living in every moment, dude. Because I feel too. Another thing when it came time to I could care a little bit less about wrestling. Let's say preseasons, postseasons.
Yeah.
You fill the void with fucking partying. You know what I'm saying? A little bit here and there.
Yeah.
And and it's just because you had nothing else to care about. You know, so there needs to be something else you seek fun. You know? I don't know, man. If you have another gig or two that you're interested in, man, it's just fucking. And if you can streamline them all together, but they can still be they're separate beings.
Yeah.
That's the best too.
Dude, I know we've talked about this and you've read Book of Five Rings, but it goes I always think about that and Miyamoto Musashi.
Yep.
Talking about how you live in the twofold way, you know, having a peaceful art and a violent art, and just the balance that you get from doing that, you can't really get anywhere else. But then you start seeing similarities between them, which is really cool.
See where they makes the discipline and the structure, because it's funny. I mean, anything that you're gonna set out to do requires those core pieces. You know, anything is gonna have some sort of structure to it for the most part. You're gonna have to be disciplined and consistent, and it's those things I feel like they play off of each other. So as to where if you're more disciplined and consistent and with the peaceful art, it makes it easier to be more disciplined and consistent with the violent art or whatever it might be. So, and dude, I for me, because we were talking about this, I've found that working on this podcast, doing more video type stuff, has been starting to become my kind of second thing too. I can't remember if it was either you or Alexa I was telling yesterday. I'm starting to enjoy doing it more than video games. Just because it's funny. I feel I love playing video games and I like that release. But at times I'm man, I'm just not fucking. I'm just burning time. I'm not progressing anything.
That's the white elephant in the room with video games. You're at the end of the day, I'm kind of just unless if I'm bringing in some absolute cheese or something like that.
For sure.
Like,
yeah, we all kind of like relax on Twitch and just like hanging out, playing our video games.
They're still good video games. I think, in a way, I still think video games can. It's still like test your intelligence a little bit, you know.
Reaction time.
Definitely. And just like strategizing. And just the release. Of nothing.
That's a basic male thing. They want to play video games, but there's still added benefit from video games, but too much of of anything is
moderation with everything.
Moderation with everything. Too much of anything, dude. Even too much of a good thing, man, is still probably not too good for you.
Definitely.
So.
Yeah, I agree.
So if you I'll ask both you guys this.
Yeah.
If you weren't fighting, what would you go do right now? Like if you were like you can pick any profession, you can commit yourself fully to something else.
Yeah, it'd have to be
videography.
Yeah.
Now, would you just continue? Would you just continue off of like Lycoy and just try to help more, pick up more stuff, and like commit yourself fully?
Yeah.
Would you like add some stuff on the side for yourself too, or like how would you?
I think it would just give us more time to focus like solely on that. You know,
Okay.
And yeah, that'd be definitely what I would pick. Just because like I said, I've grown to really enjoy the process of it.
Yep.
And anytime you enjoy the process more than the result, like the result takes care of itself and it all. Sure. I know you and Anad you guys talked with Anad about that.
Yeah.
That was a great podcast, by the way.
Thank you.
But yeah, I would pick that, and then it's just hard to imagine my life without training and like fighting competitively is like wonderful, it's great, but just like to imagine your life without training, it's just a hard thing.
That comes after.
I never want to have that. I never want to have a life without training. Never ever.
I've already said dude, if I was not like fighting, I would still have to pick something else up to train for, and even if it was like just constant Tough Mudders or like some bullshit triathlons or something random, dude. I'd have to pick something else up, you know.
Yeah.
There has to be something to like work for in a weird way physically, you know. That's still a piece of my life. Like it's like sorry, not sorry, you know. It was ingrained at a young age, and you
need that for your mental.
You need it for your mental.
Not even
it's the order. I've already said it. Yeah. It's actually to many other people it's the chaos, you know. Dude, like no, it's the fucking order. It's the order for many of us, you know. Like you can't run from it, dude.
For sure.
This was like a staple at a young age, you know. Whether we chose it or our parents put us into something, but it's become the staple now.
Definitely.
Dude, I
definitely gives orders.
That's what it is.
I feel like I'd go into like paintballing or something.
Paintballing is sweet.
Something like that.
Some type of team sport like that would be really cool. Paintballing would be really damn cool.
Maybe golf. My dad would give me to go to golf camp and stuff. I think he low-key wanted me to be a good golfer. But I just didn't enjoy it when I was young as much. Now I do. But yeah, that's
we gotta try to catch
probably pick up CrossFit.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, before it gets too cold.
Yeah, and Nad's all about it right now. So
Nad's huge on that. It's not even like I see him much, but every time I see him now,
all the dude wants to talk about golf.
Golf. And he sounds like he's overthinking it too. He's overthinking golf strategically too.
Well, dude, honestly,
I can tell his brain's churning.
Well, he's gotten way better. In the time that he started, I haven't seen that many people go from knowing nothing to where he's at right now. So he's definitely getting
better. But it tells that he's genuinely interested.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah. Paintball.
Yeah, paintball. Yeah, dude. We did that team bonding every year for Kent. Our team would go paintball.
We go paintball.
Yeah, there's an epic picture. The one dude took a picture. He has a Dick's hoodie with his last name on the back of it, and I was like execution style. The guy caught a picture of it.
Okay.
I gotta find that somewhere.
Where'd y'all go? Was it somewhere
I was thinking Alliance, I think.
We go out to Alliance,
Yeah,
so I would just say paintballing in Alliance.
Yeah.
Paintballing in Alliance.
Yeah.
And that will have our answer.
It was fun though.
I
mean, we should start a group.
Dude, I know we did a Strong Style thing before.
Synergy Woods is right down the street from my house.
What is it?
Synergy Woods. And
maybe that's where
Bayou, Grafton.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whichever is the closest place here, I think that's where we had went previously.
For sure.
But I haven't been in a while, man.
Dude,
I'd like to go.
Some fun stuff.
Yeah.
It's real life video games.
Dude, it ain't fun when you got 4 or 5 people trying to light you up.
Yeah. When you're the
target
left. When you're
But like
TPA.
Capture the flag. That's like the best.
Yeah.
That's my favorite paintball that I've played.
For sure.
So you just like get the flag and everybody's trying to tag you up. But
I'm the dumb fucker that puts his gun down and is like, just cover me, I'm gonna sprint to the flag, and then everyone's shooting. Getting lit up.
Yep.
What about you, Drew? If you were like, I've got to commit 100% to something else.
That is a loaded question that
yeah.
I don't even know if I can answer for you. I'd probably find some type of way to hustle in business, dude. I don't know. That would keep me on my toes. But
yeah, it's tough, right? It's tough to imagine.
It's weird, dude. Right? People like that question. The question of like, what do you want to do? Well, there's nothing I just want to do.
Yeah. I would be
except for probably
it.
fighting. But like, but even
things.
that you can't do that too much.
Yeah.
There's really nothing that like I just like all eggs in the basket want to do.
Yeah.
And it could sound like a bad thing to say, but there are things that I like to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm like building that list, that repertoire.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I couldn't answer that yet. I couldn't just give you one thing. I like the health and wellness field. I like the wealth field. I'm getting more interested in that, whether it's stocks and crypto.
Yep.
I'm a noob and I'm a baby to it, but like, and the only way you can really enjoy that too is if you have money too. So it's a little different. I'm kind of strapped to like how much I can take in and learning that. But I will definitely watch it every goddamn day. He already knows this. I've started working on a real estate license. I think that would be a cool thing to add into.
For sure. For sure.
And I'm trying to find outlets where I can create my own like schedule.
Yeah.
You create your being with fighting. Whether successful or unsuccessful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, real estate's a good one because you could build a lot around that.
That's what I'm saying. You can build a lot, you can learn a lot, and you can build a lot around it. So my brain's churning with that one, but I'm in no rush.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm in no rush with anything right now. Maybe that's my urgency. Kind of, it's there and it's not there in certain aspects,
Mm-hmm.
But I also,
yeah,
we stress ourselves out too much.
We
stress ourselves out too much. I've been living. This fight, dude, I lived so presently for this fight, man.
That's great.
Everything was like kind of fixated on the day or the week, It wasn't looking 3 months in advance or a year in advance. It was like everything was kind of, and then like in a weird way, it like sped life up in certain areas, but like I felt like it slowed it down a lot too, because I had to focus a lot more on what's going on in that moment.
That's super important. I've been trying to focus on that lately. Is like just treating every day like it's. Like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, there's no tomorrow.
And I think when you have a fight coming up, I think me and you have talked about this previously too. But when you have a fight coming up, it almost forces you into like only thinking about today.
Because
you start to realize that I have to be as present as possible.
As present as possible.
And like treat tomorrow like it doesn't even exist.
And there's a lot that needs to be done.
And there's so much freedom that comes with living that way.
Yes, so much freedom.
So in much everything, freedom. Like in like work life, like your relationships, friendships, like just your interactions with people. But it takes like constant reminders.
It takes constant reminders, and it takes constant diligence too. Like you need to make the right decisions and choices, man. I would say, just in that present being is where you find like the most like purity of life too, in a weird way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I felt like everything I did and all my interactions were very genuine and pure in the last 2 months. I don't know, man.
Yeah, it comes from being present.
I think it comes from being present, man. A lot of people are looking to the future, and then like once you get there, it's like, what would you look here for?
Yeah.
You're getting here anyways.
Yeah.
You're getting here anyways,
here
dude. So fucking here it is, dude.
Yep.
So that's why, just the idea of enjoying the process, focusing on the process, and living in the process, and enjoying the process more than the the outcome. You're gonna get the outcome anyway.
Yeah. It's gonna come regardless.
It's gonna come anyways.
Yeah. So either you're gonna enjoy this time.
Yeah.
Or you're not.
Yeah.
You know.
And I feel like if you enjoyed it, you're probably gonna get the outcome you wanted.
Definitely.
So but then it's time to move on real quick again, dude. It's like. It doesn't stop.
Yeah.
That's the next thing people are saying. Like you're here, but
also
if don't stop.
If you're waiting for the result, and even if you get it,
yeah.
Guess what? It's very short. Like
it's very short.
It's a short window that even exists.
Right.
So you can't live your life for that.
You can't live your life.
In my opinion.
I agree, man.
For sure. One thing I was thinking about as you guys were like going back and forth. Isn't it so funny? And I'm guilty as anyone else in this, but like you can fall into that mode of waiting for something to end. Like class is almost over at 2:30. At 2:30 I get to go home.
Yeah.
You know, like I can't wait to get done with this doctor's appointment or something like that. Now there are some things that, you know, stuff like that is just kind of mundane you need to do that.
Yeah.
But also it's crazy how much more you get out of things when you live presently. That's something I've been putting in my journal like every day. Like it's one of my priorities like every single day. Like it's one that doesn't change. Like the other two I typically change, but one I just put like stay present, and that's like my reminder. Because I'll find myself like, dude, sometimes like we're teaching the kids, and for whatever reason, like my brain's kind of somewhere else, and I'm just like, man, like can't wait for 6:30 to roll around, like, and then
we're all guilty of it, man.
Yeah, but then the times where I'm like I'm investing myself in this day, like I'm gonna help one kid or two kids or three kids get way better. Like I'm gonna be completely there. I enjoy it much more. It's like sometimes it goes by slower. The times it goes by slower, I don't mind because I'm enjoying it. And sometimes it flies by because I'm enjoying it. And I think that's the thing. We keep pushing for things to end and for, you know, like this to get over, whatever. But then we're just kind of like pushing for the end of our life, which is weird. You know, like it's weird and kind of sad because if we're just ready for like I can't wait for this podcast to be over, and then I can't wait for work to be over, and then I can't wait for this to be over.
And you didn't really experience anything.
You didn't experience anything. Like you're just waiting for the end. Which is like bizarre as fuck, instead of like getting the most out of this moment.
For sure. For sure.
And I also want to say too, like the more you find yourself, you know, thinking about whatever, you know, the end of the coming of the end of something, you know, even if it's a class, it's a work shift or something like that, and you still can't, you know you're doing it, but you still can't dial into like a present mindset. You could be in the wrong place.
Yeah.
You know, like that's a different thing too. Like there's certain things that won't even allow you to be present. You know, and if that's the case, like you're doing something wrong, you are somewhere wrong. I don't know. You know.
Yeah.
If you can't pull it out, if you can't manifest it, you know.
Right. Also, to that point, I think when we're younger, it's like easier to be in that present mindset all the time when you're a kid, and like the older we get, we kind of train ourselves to be out of it, and we're trying to get back to that childlike sense of like just being where we are. And the memory that like came to my head whenever you were explaining all that was like high school, my senior year of wrestling. We won state as a team, and we had been like trying all throughout high school. I think we got like 5th my freshman year, 4th my sophomore year, 4th my junior year, and then my senior year, you know, we just went all out, and like every guy on the team did everything they could, and we were all about just like win and stay, like
cohesive.
Yeah, and like it was everything for all of us, you know. And I remember like the memory I'm talking about is like right when we won, we like. I think we may have set the point record for Louisiana that year. Yeah. It's since been broken, but like when we won, I remember just like looking around and seeing like all of them and seeing all the fans and being like, wow, like this is great. But it was the first time I realized that it was like the journey. It was like I was like, this moment's great, but like all the memories that we had leading up to this is what's really making it great, you know?
Right.
And that was the first time in my life that I realized like the difference between the journey and the destination. And so I try to remember that when I'm like all over it thinking about something in the future, just to bring back to the present.
For sure. Yeah, and it's what you got, like, as you're saying that, I'm like trying to actively listen, but then my brain's also like, when was the first time you realized, like I'm trying to think back, like I don't really know, like that, because it is, I think when you're a kid you don't think about the future. That's why like kids are poor, like they do dumb shit sometimes because they're like, they don't think about the consequences, or like they're like maybe not great at planning for things because they're just focused on their friends and what's right now, and like let's go play outside, like we're not worried about like responsibilities or anything yet. So it's super easy to focus on right now. We get older, we learn things, and then we start worrying about things, we start planning for things, and that's what takes our mind elsewhere. I want to say for myself, it might have actually been in college. And I got to thank and shout out Johnny DeJulius. He was our GA my senior year. And I actually, for probably about a year and a half or a year at that point, had grown to like not hate but dislike a lot of different parts of wrestling because I had quit wrestling because it was fun. I was wrestling to the result.
Yeah.
And I remember it was like halfway through the year, I was just having a conversation with Johnny, or he might have been talking to the team, I can't remember, and he mentioned just like wrestling for the moment and enjoying the moment, and I had fun the rest of the year, and I was like, wow, I haven't had fun wrestling I didn't give a shit if I won or lost. Like, what's funny? Like, at that moment, I started winning a little bit more, too. It didn't, like, drag, I wasn't, like, all of a sudden, like, I wasn't all of a sudden on fire and gonna make the NCAA tournament, but like I was like those matches that I might have lost, I was like winning. And I remember the second half of that year and feel like very fondly about the second half of that year, like more so than like the whole year and a half prior where I don't remember much, and I was just trying to get through it. I was like shit, like I'm working so hard, and like it was just kind of like it was a result oriented thing. Like, if I worked really hard,
put you back in that process.
And then I like enjoyed wrestling. I was still like ready to be done, but I was more at peace with like that point of it. Like it was still hard when it ended, but I was like, okay, like I'm glad that I realized this with 10, 15 matches left, and I didn't realize it when I was about to wrestle my very last match. Or after. And then I'm like, shit, like I didn't enjoy it for the last X amount of time. But it is.
That's great that you had him to give you that,
That dude also lives more present than any other.
Every time I've seen him, like we've had minimal interactions, and we wrestled a couple times in college.
Okay.
And he beat me. And but we've had like minimal interactions, but the dude is always like in a good mood, happy to be where he's at, so that's great.
For sure. He actually started something. I mean, I'm sure, I don't know if you follow him on social media. He does he's jumping off of anything.
I saw the shirt.
Like,
I saw the shirt
and all that
like
stuff.
The shirt.
Oh, the shirt that I got.
Sweet.
Yeah, I got the skydiving wrestler or whatever.
Yeah.
But
his dad's like super nice too. Just very nice guy.
I've never met him. I've actually saw one of his TED Talks. It was about.
Oh really?
I think it was a TED Talk. It was a video about Ford, crafting relationships with people you are just meeting. I think it's like 4 questions: family, occupation, recreation, dreams. Just a good basis for like, hey, we just met. So like in my head, it's like, okay, like, oh, like tell me about, do you got brothers or sisters? Like, what do you do? Like, what do you like to do in your spare time? Like, what's the big dream? And it's funny. So his dad, I don't know if it was a TED Talk or just like a video, but his dad talked about that, and I was using that for a while, like when I would meet new people, and it like very effective way.
You can cover a lot of ground with just those simple 4
and they're like
makes sense.
Areas, I guess.
I've realized it forces you to ask questions that are like non-threatening too. I feel like you don't realize it, but you may like accidentally get too personal or like scare people off just like with your line of questioning. Like very non-threatening, like innocent questions initially upon meeting someone allows them to let their guard down and open up to talk to you a little more. And I mean, I think like both of you guys would agree, like I'm that guy that like I'm always talking to people and like meeting new people and shit like that, and I think that's part of it because like I just like I try to formulate like the impression that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then people are like, oh, like, it's super easy to talk to this guy. And it's funny because I got that from his dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got it from his dad, so.
Yeah. That's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
I can definitely see how he would be good at that just from the couple times I've talked to the guy.
Yeah. He, I want to say he started a new brand called, like, No Tomorrow. And then he's just like, I don't.
It goes right in line with what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
You know?
I was actually gonna reach out to him to see if he wanted to like sponsor me, just throw his logo on my shorts because it's like I believe in that too. Like I feel like I live more presently than my mind is sometimes. Mm-hmm. Like sometimes I trail off, but I feel like I'm pretty spontaneous.
It's a work in progress, dude.
Yeah.
And here's again, it never stops. It needs to be fine-tuned all the time, dude. To where you're at as well. You know, you gotta navigate the waters.
Definitely.
You know?
Definitely.
There is a lot of importance in taking time to sit down and, like, let your mind, like, wander, think about
choose
those
boredom.
things. But I think...
Choose boredom,
but also, like, I think it needs to be more of when you're doing shit and you're in the middle of executing, just execute and be present. Yeah. But I think you should almost, like, pull up your calendar, block off time, like I'm taking an hour today where I'm not doing anything, where I'm choosing to just not look at my phone, to sit around. Because your mind will naturally gravitate to things. Yeah. And here's what I'm starting to realize, like, not every thought is worth putting a ton of time or like a ton of time or effort into, but you can kind of figure those out, I feel like, for the most part. Like, you think about them for a second, you're like, that's a stupid thought, whatever. But your mind will gravitate towards, like, something that's in here, you know? Mm-hmm. If your mind's going to it, like, it's going to it for a reason.
Definitely.
Even if it's just to, like, get it out. Like, it's like, if you think of something, you're like, that's dumb, I don't need it. You need it to, like, get it out of your head. Think about it, oh, that's stupid, it's out. Mm-hmm. But then it'll wander to, like, oh, this is something I need to think about.
Yeah. Like you said, too, putting the phone down, you know? Yeah. Like that is essential just to... How many people today just, like, get in a room by themselves with their thoughts and, like, can sit there and then sift through it all, you know what I mean? But we're constantly distracted by our phones, by computers, by, like, whatever it is, TV.
A lot of people don't want to deal with their thoughts, too, so they put their goddamn fucking phone.
Exactly. Like, but there's, like, you need to. You gotta, like, be with yourself.
For sure.
Just yourself and not anybody else sometimes. At least me. I need that.
Yeah. That's something like I've been learning recently that's been hard for me because I'm such a, like, one, I'm such a social person, and two, I just find myself really good at consuming information, and I realize even if it is good information, I still need to, like, let my brain chill, you know? Like,
for sure.
I would go, like, straight from doing this to you guys leave, like, opening the book and reading, and then, like, maybe watching an educational video on how to market podcasts or something. And then next thing I know, it's time to go to the gym. And it's like, and then I wonder why, like, I'm super stressed. And it's like, I did all good things today, all good productive things. And it's like, well, dude, like, you didn't stop at all.
You
like,
stop. You just loaded. You loaded and loaded and loaded. And actually some of it just seeped its way out because it was just too much. You know? I feel that.
Yeah, it's like rest. It's like recharging, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's like... You need that time to recharge.
For sure. Yeah, that's becoming much easier.
Yeah.
Much easier for me to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of like when I get to go home to Louisiana, that's like recharge time. Yeah. You know? Like, I'm still with people, I'm not by myself, but it's like there's not, you know, I'm not training.
Your priorities and obligations are kind of just, they're free. They're freed up.
Yeah, just
so now you have, like, free reign to kind of... How often do you go back to Louisiana?
Probably like 3-4 times a year. I'm trying to go back more now, just spend more time with my papa, be around friends.
As you get older, you want to be around a little bit more, man.
Definitely. And it's like, it's literally like food for my soul, dude.
It
recharges me. I come back, like, revitalized.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
You need that time at home.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So, towards the end of every podcast, I actually think we missed it with Nanad, but
probably did.
we asked our last guest, Dan, I'm going to ask you, what do you feel like in life in general makes you hard to kill?
Well, like, for me personally, it's faith, you know? Faith, like, just trusting that, like, whatever is going to come my way, good or bad, like God's gonna see me through it, and that puts me in the present. That like helps me to be where I'm at and like not focus on that outcome. Just focus on that. Focus on having a strong spirit too. Like like whatever happens with the body is like secondary. It's the spirit first. So like if your spirit is strong, you're hard to kill. You know. Yeah. And so for me. Like, and I think I even heard you talk, maybe it was like the first episode y'all had, but you were kind of talking about the spiritual side of things.
Yeah.
And for me, that's like what it is 100%. Like, everything else is secondary.
For sure.
You know?
That's cool, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember exactly what you were saying about the...
I have to rewatch it. But I've definitely, I've delved down that, maybe down that path. At least knowing who you are in that aspect, you know, can definitely add to what you're looking for, I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And what you're aiming for. And that one, too, itself is probably something that needs to be fine-tuned and soul-searched daily, you know? It needs to be a work in progress, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
You're constantly changing in a way, you know? It may not... I think it may not be, like, out there to be seen nonstop, you know, but like I feel like you're constantly changing up here a little bit, you know, and there's a lot of things that can trickle with that.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely.
Cool. Sweet.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's an honor, man.
Great talk, yeah.
Yeah, good stuff, bro.
Hell yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely, man.
All right.
Hell yeah, dude.